Remy, I want to know a little bit more about smart ways of allocating e-commerce budgets for maximum ROI. Are there any specific budget allocation metrics that we should be looking at? What would they be?
So when you're looking at allocating your e-commerce budget, you need to think about it in two ways. You need to think about cost and investment. The cost part is money you spend that will get you traffic, and if you stop spending that money, you stop getting the traffic. That you can think about from a cost perspective. Investment is money that you spend that over a long period of time will continuously keep generating traffic and goodwill to you. That investment can acquire customer for you and it can retain customer for you. So those are the channels you need to look at.
So, what are the key channels then that you would be looking at spending money on?
The default channel most e-commerce store owners, Shopify store owners default to is paid advertising because that gets you traffic instantly and it gets you acquisition with high intent. So the more money you spend, the more customers you get, and you can easily convert them because they have high intent of converting. So that's what most people start with. But what they fail to do is invest in where people actually land, because if you're just getting traffic, paying for traffic, you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing. So you're playing the price game. So you're not really, you don't have the high conversion if you've not invested in other fundamental part. I use the word invest because you need to invest in some channels like content marketing. Yeah.
So it sounds like the return on investment is not just calculated at the end when the purchase is made. Is there any other points in the customer journey where ROI can be considered or calculated in terms of deciding where to spend money on?
So if you came to me and asked me how to allocate your budget, I would recommend you go in those two buckets of cost and investment. The investment piece is how you spend money that is going to go through more, that would last more than 12 months. For example, if you invest in creating content, for example, video content and other types of content, if you invest in, say, for example, micro influencer marketing, those contents, especially if those people have a huge audience on channels or platforms like YouTube or Instagram, those are investments because those will last you a long time and the cost per acquisition will kind of reduce over time. And then another part of investments is platforms like email. For Shopify store owners, you can focus on Klaviyo, which is the default and the best platform when it comes to email marketing for Shopify stores and most e-commerce. So that is an investment because the money, that channel will get you traffic and it will kind of isolate, if done correctly, all your customers from other noise and other competitors because you have them in a sequence of flow and you can nurture them, give them the right information without letting them just hop all over the internet, and then convert them and also retain them for the long term. So when you're talking about e-commerce, especially Shopify marketing budget, you need to allocate budget specifically, invest budget in your content and SEO as well as email marketing. Those channels I see as investment channels.
So you speak a lot about the value of retention and focusing on retention of customers and the customization of the journeys in order to support that.
Yeah.
So how or what would your advice be about balancing between acquisition of new customers and retention of old customers? Is there a magic rule for budget allocation there?
So basically, you have 4 quarters in the year, and as we move towards, we're at the time of recording, we're in November. As you move towards the festive Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, there's a heavy investment on paid advertising. And what most people fail to realize is platforms such as Google Ads is like a bidding process. So the cost of acquiring customers from those platforms just increases exponentially. So my recommendation is, for certain portions of the year, you need to allocate your budget to acquiring new customers, and you also need to allocate your budget to retaining your existing customers and also encouraging them to repeat purchase. So if you ask me, I would say for the first 3 quarters, you need to invest heavily in customer acquisition, and hopefully you've acquired those new customers, you've converted them, and as you move into like Black Friday and towards the end of the fourth quarter, where everyone is focusing on investing, no, spending money heavily on paid advertising, you're reinvesting your money into retaining your customer. And if you incentivize your existing customer, you have more potential to encourage them to good customer experience, to encourage them to spread the word about the experience with your brand. I have been lucky enough to be a customer, not lucky enough, I've been customers of brands where I realized that, okay, the quality of the product is so good that I recommend it to other people. I even nudge people to buy from them. So it doesn't cost the company any money because I'm doing the marketing for them by expressing my satisfaction in their product. So, but you need to nudge those customers that are existing through particular channel, through communities, to kind of help them, encourage them to spread the word about, or even use referrals. Like if you incentivize them with further discounts after they buy from you, you can then incentivize them to then encourage, like refer a friend and bring new customers to you.
As an advocate of an agile approach to marketing, where are there opportunities to build some agility in your e-commerce budgets?
So with e-commerce budgets, most of the times you have situations where people set their budget for 12 months, and some organizations or some founders and some sales director or commercial director, they seem not to have that mindset that it's easy for you to move money around. So as I said earlier on, you invest in acquisition, but if you realize that acquisition is not really working for you, there's nothing wrong with switching off and moving those funds into other channel. A good example is e-commerce stores often fail to invest in SEO, organic search, and that is not, from a investment perspective, from a revenue perspective, that is not a smart decision. So I would recommend to invest heavily in organic search, invest heavily in conversion rate optimization, because you spend more than 60-70% of your budget on paid acquisition and you can't even allocate. It blows my mind, you can allocate any budget to how you convert those people. You don't have any budget for your email campaign. So if you can spend 80% of your marketing budget on Google ads and paid advertising, it's only smart to invest in email marketing. Email marketing is not just a retention channel, it's also a channel for acquisition as well. It can do different things. It can also upsell, cross-sell. You can use it for multiple things, but that channel is often ignored. For me, that is an investment channel, and it has the highest return on investment on your marketing budget when it comes to that. Content is also important. So when you create a marketing budget, I always recommend to focus on building a content strategy. That content strategy will feed into your email, your SEO, your offline marketing, all those channels across the board. Yeah.
So from your previous experience, is it required to have an agency running your e-commerce
I am biased.
platform, or should it be done in-house for best ROI?
I'm biased because I work for an agency. So, but what I would tell you is, for an e-commerce store owner, a commercial director, a sales director, you do not have the capacity or the time to do your marketing. So it's important to hire agency partners to kind of help provide you with that expertise. Because for you to build out a marketing team, you need an SEO person, a conversion person, a UX person, an email marketer. You need someone to run your social ads. You need someone to create the content, the asset. So you're looking like 8 to 9 people. And if you're going to look at the cost of hiring all those people, the cost kind of goes up really high. So the cost effective way is to pay a fraction of that investment in human resource to use it to hire an agency. And when you're hiring an agency, you want to make sure that you hire an agency that appreciates the full end-to-end funnel optimization. It's pointless just hiring an agency for paid advertising that doesn't have an understanding of how to create content, how to optimize all your content across all channels. An agency that does not love and appreciate the power of email marketing as well. So my recommendation would be for e-commerce store owners, you don't necessarily need to build an in-house marketing team because it will be expensive in the long term, but you can hire an agency partner to help you across the board. The agency I work for currently, we can help with Shopify and other e-commerce platform to help you get the best ROI on your marketing budget. So what I would recommend is connect with me. If you have further questions about how to allocate your marketing budget, connect with me on LinkedIn or ping me an email, and I'll be happy to put you across and help you out with a free just connect with me.